has named Michigan defensive coordinator DJ Durkin as its new head coach. The announcement coming within the last hour. Durkin will replace Randy Edsall, who was fired in October. He oversaw a defense that became the first in FBS in the last 20 years to record 3 straight shutouts this season. Durkin will be officially introduced at a news conference 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, and you can see it right here on BTN. As we welcome you into our BTN studios, Dave Revson will be joined in a bit by Howard Griffith, Mike DeCourcy, Sean Morris, talking some hoops. Taylor Rook's with us as well. But the big news, the hiring of DJ Durkin at Maryland. The school made it official in a press release just a little while ago. Obviously news that impacts 2 different programs within our league. Little background on Durkin for those who might not be familiar with him. He has never been a head coach, but he has worked alongside 2 of the most accomplished ones in the division he'll be coaching in. He was a graduate assistant under Urban Meyer at his alma mater at Bowling Green, later was on his staff at Florida, worked with Jim Harbaugh at Stanford, and then, of course, joined his Michigan staff this season. His Wolverines, a defense that ranked in the top 11 in the nation in both scoring D and total D. DJ Durkin, 37 years old. Sports Illustrated's Pete Thamel was the first to have this story. He joins us now on the phone. Pete, what made DJ Durkin the right fit in the mind of the AD, Kevin Anderson?
Well, Kevin Anderson talked to a lot of people, Dave, for this job. A lot of people. Everyone from Herm Edwards to Noel Mazzone at UCLA to Mike Bloomgren at Stanford. I mean, he really spoke to a lot of people, and I think when it came down to it, Durkin is young, he's energetic, and you're, to be honest, taking a big piece away from one of your rivals in Michigan, and you're taking away someone who's certainly not going to be intimidated by Urban Meyer, having been his former GA back in the day at Bowling Green. So it's, DJ Durkin is a dynamic young presence, and they feel like he can really resonate in that D.C. area and in that Beltway area and help lure the recruits and give Maryland football a brand and an identity, something he really hasn't had since Ralph Reese.
So Anderson had stated publicly right after they fired Randy Edsall that he wanted someone who would run kind of a wide-open offense, which certainly Durkin could still do based on who he hires as a coordinator. But I think the implication that a lot of people took from that was that he was going to hire an offensive guy, which DJ Durkin obviously is not. Why do you think he veered from that publicly stated course?
I honestly don't have enough insight into Kevin Anderson and why that changed, but I will say this. It was like a Noah's Ark of candidates. They had one of every kind, so they saw a little bit of everything. They saw offense, they saw defense, they saw old, they saw young, and they ended up seeing Durkin at the end.
Who else was on that arc?
It was just a ton of different people. Doug Meacham from TCU was on the arc. Mike Loxley obviously got a look as an internal candidate as the interim. They talked to Mac Brown and Tony Dungy. I was told that philosophically they weren't going to hire those guys, but they kind of leaned on some older coaches. All right, what can work at Maryland and how should it work here? Kevin Anderson went out on his own and made his own hire.
Any sense of what this might mean for Michigan? It obviously impacts 2 teams in our league, both in terms of whether or not DJ Durkin might bring anyone off of Jim Harbaugh's staff and give them a promotion to bring them along to Maryland, and or how Harbaugh replaces him at defensive coordinator.
Well, this is pure speculation, but Scott Schaefer, the old Syracuse coach, doesn't have a job. He was Jim Harbaugh's defensive coordinator at Stanford. That's certainly a name that will come up. Whether that's grounded in reality, I don't honestly have a sense, Dave, but that was when I was thinking about Durkin a couple days ago going there. I was like, maybe Schaefer ends up back with Harbaugh.
Pete Thamel, great work on this story. Thanks for taking a few minutes to share your findings with us.
Dave, thank you.